an episode of Kennel Bits, which I have not done one of these in forever. But it's a series I kind of want to resurrect a little bit. Pardon me that I'm in my car. I literally just got home from work. And wanted to spend a few minutes talking about the recent confrontation, if you will, between former New York Jets defensive player Mark Gastineau and Hall of Fame quarterback Brett Favre that took place at some sort of a convention earlier this week regarding Brett Favre taking a dive at the end of the 2001 regular season that allowed Michael Strahan to break his single season sack record that he set forth back in 1984. So, if you're not familiar with what this is all about, Mark Gastineau played for 10 years in the 80s with the New York Jets. And in 1984, he set the single season sack record at 22. That record stood for quite some time as it stayed intact until the year 2001. Now, when it comes to sports, anything and everything is meant to be broken. Streaks are meant to be broken. Records are made to be broken. That's any sport, right? It's not just football. Anyway, the long and short of it is Favre apparently ran into Gastineau at this convention thing that they were doing, and they were filming, and cameras were rolling, and Favre not really, like, he was very pleasant about it. Favre's like, hey, don't I know you, kind of thing, and Gastineau reluctantly, like, shakes his hand, and he said, yeah, he said, you do. He's like, when you laid down for him. And Brett is kind of confused by this. He's just like, what are you talking, like, what? He's like, I want my sack back. What? He's bitter about a 22-year record. Now, the long and short of it is, in a 2001 game toward the end of the regular season against the New York Giants, Brett Favre, who played for the Green Bay Packers, the game was out of reach. The game was practically over, right? Favre he hikes the ball. He goes to almost like he's going to run a bootleg, and there's nobody there. So Favre, here comes Michael Strahan, who was actually going into this game. He was tied with Gastineau for the sack record. Essentially, basically, you can look at the tape. It looks essentially lays down, and Strahan gets on top of him, and he's credited for the sack. Now, coincidentally, Brett Favre was all for Michael Strahan breaking that record because he had the respect for Strahan, and he's like, you know what? Either he dies or he goes down, or Strahan's going to plow him. I mean, for crying out loud. But the long and short of it is Gastineau is extremely pissed off and flat out tells Brett he wants his sack back. Gastineau is very vocal that the NFL should have said, no. That wasn't a sack. He laid down. It doesn't matter. Strahan still essentially made the tackle. Ergo, it's a sack, right? And even Brett's like, you'd probably hurt me if you sacked me right now. And he's like, I don't. And Gastineau fired back, I don't care. I want my sack back. You hurt me. You hurt me by giving away my record. So it's kind of one of those things where, hindsight's 2020. I mean, I don't think Brett Favre had any malicious intent. He has actually since released a statement basically saying, he meant no disrespect to Mark Gastineau. He's sorry that he feels so bitter about something that happened, 20 plus years ago. It's high time to move on, and Mark Gastineau feels that's why he's not in the Hall of Fame. And, I don't know. Gastineau played in an era, I was born in 1982. So I'm not familiar with Mark Gastineau. I know he has some health issues. I know he's recently been diagnosed with Alzheimer's and dementia. So I don't know if that's just playing into his mind. I mean, I don't know. I don't know people with dementia or Alzheimer's, so I can't speak on that, and I won't speak on that out of respect for those who have family members or loved ones that have gone through either of those things. I can't speak on it, but as far as my take on it, I think Gastineau is completely out of line. To confront him at this convention thing, wherever it was that they were, Brett's trying to be, like he does anybody else. Hey, kind of thing. I, as a Packers fan, there was a lot of times, especially when Brett had that real messy divorce from Green Bay, wound up getting traded to the Jets. I'm not one to be a big Brett Favre fan. I mean, I'm how I feel about Brett Favre is kind of how I feel about Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, left the team, a messy divorce, ended up getting traded to the Jets. But, time heals all wounds. And, Brett Favre is going to be forever a Green Bay Packer, and it's just the way it works. For Gastineau to put him on blast like that, I think he was out of line for. So that's just my take on it. Like I said, you can let me know in the comments your take on it, what you think about it. This is a little series. These videos aren't going to be very long. It's just my take on things going on. The first 6 episodes were about pro wrestling, and then it was actually suggested to me at work. He's like, a couple of my buddies are like, you should make Kennel Bits kind of a everything, whether it be pro wrestling, football, baseball, whatever. And right then and there, I thought, man, I got already a few really awesome ideas for the series. So, but that's my take on it. Like I said, let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'm gonna get in here. It's freaking bitterly cold. We got some snow last night. I'm gonna get inside, get warmed up. We'll get. I'm freed up for a couple hours, so I will get something streaming for you guys. I see Holly in the chat. I'll see if she's up for something here. Then I got to close tomorrow, so I got all night to get some content up. But anyway, love you guys. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you've not done so already. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up. It does help the channel grow, and we'll catch you guys here in just a bit. So take care.